Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Coincidence Seeker. You've come to the right place. The Coincidence Effect, newly renamed, and we got another one for you today. We've seen this pattern thousands of times, at least so it seems. It's a Wednesday, and it's a shooting, and this time it's bringing the holiday cheer right before Thanksgiving in the nation's capital, while Trump is down in Florida, more than likely golfing and probably flirting with 10-year-olds. But again, Wednesday and Saturday, they're the 2 days of the week that have the gematria that corresponds with shooting. And we see a lot of national news shooting stories on Wednesday and Saturday. And yes, they do happen on other days. But if you pay attention, more often than not, Wednesday and Saturday, plagued with shootings. It's almost become a weekly occurrence on Saturdays, a national shooting story for the weekend on a Saturday. With regards to this being the National Guard of Washington, D.C., it was established on March 3rd in 1802. And that means today is 38 weeks and 2 days later. And as we know, this number 38, very fateful. And the news has been conflicting. At first, they reported both of these National Guards members were killed. Then it's been reported they're in critical condition. And right now they're saying it's unclear. Seems hard to believe that the news media, the governor, all these people couldn't get the story straight because this story broke hours ago. But yes, in this practice of coding numbers into words, 38 is very much connected to death. Of course, Pentagon equals 38. The nation's capital is on the 38th parallel. Death, murder, killing, and RIP equal 38. The movie Murder by Numbers encodes the 38 on the cover. The film came out 38 weeks after the star of the film's birthday, Sandra Bullock. But yeah, if you're new here, murder, killing, death, RIP, they're all 38, just like Gematria in English. And of course, there's that song out there, Gematria, the killing name. The band that did that, Slipknot, they lost one member at age 38. They lost the other on a 38 date numerology. And I'd have to go back and double check, but I want to say he died 38 days from his birthday as well. Point is, this number comes up a lot in death. We've talked about it many a times just in recent days with what's been out there. It was about 5 38-related deaths ago that the UFC fighter was found dead in his jail cell at age 38. But if you run the alphabetic order in reverse, death is also 97, and today's 97 days before the anniversary of the establishment of the National Guard of Washington, D.C. Again, it was created March 3rd, 1802. Means it turned 223 years old this year. That's a big-time number with this Kabbalistic code that points back to the Masons, like DC's the Masonic city. And, of course, the Masons venerate 33, going with the National Guard being created on 3-3 in DC. And speaking of Masonry, Donald Trump, the apprentice, the first degree of Freemasonry, the entered apprentice. Today's 165 days after his birthday. His birthday is the 165th day of the year. Scottish Rite equals 165. Don't forget their headquarters is in D.C. at the House of the Temple. The address is 1733. Mason equals 17. Masonry equals 33. Today is the 330th day of the year, 330. Christy Noam first broke the news 4 days before her birthday. 4 is associated with death in the occult. And in light of today being one day before Thanksgiving, the first ever Thanksgiving was celebrated on this day, November 26th, also the day that Lincoln officially made it a holiday. But since the story broke, we now have the shooter, and they're saying the shooter is an Afghan national. They're saying it's a 29-year-old named Ramanullah Lakanwa. And I want you to see the gematria of this guy's name. Do you see the 107 in his name? 107. We talked about 107, 37, 44 in a major way when Charlie Kirk, Mr. 107 himself, was shot on a Wednesday at Utah Valley State. But yeah, if you're new here, these are the 4 base ciphers of the English language. And just for the record, 64 equals kill. 172 goes with the Jesuit motto Ad Merum Dei Gloriam. Again, they're responsible for the language, the calendar, and the capital being D.C. 314 is a lot like pi, which has to do with cycles and circles, like how these stories repeat in the same cycles and circles. But that 107, again, we talked about shooting equals 37 and 4.